عينك احنا.
آم، هيك أحسن، هيك المفروض إنه
مهم.
مسموع.
السلام عليكم، يعطيكم العافية جميعا. أنا دكتورة أمل أبو البدين، الإكسكيوتيف بورد ممبر لجابا والكوتشير للريزيدنس كوميتي فور جابا. I'd like to welcome you all for this new activity as part of the match mentorship program. إن شاء الله راح نكمل حكينا اليوم بخصوص الانترفيوز للماتش سيزون. I'm thrilled for our guest today, دكتور عامر. وas always I'd like to welcome دكتور خالد الربيدي ودكتور محمد سلامة, our champions for the match mentorship program. I hope this will be a helpful activity for you, or I hope you enjoy it. And I'll give it لدكتور خالد. يعطيكم العافية.
الله يعطيكم ألف عافية جميعا وشكرا لحضوركم اليوم. إن شاء الله السيزون ماشي أموره تمام. أنا عارف إنه بلش يصيبكم فتيق من الويبينارز، عملنا أكثر من ويبينار بالفترة الماضية، بس يعني هذا الويبينار اليوم مهم عشان إنه it's very important to practice interviews and get an honest feedback. And I know it's not easy إنه to practice in public. أنا عارف إنه it's not easy to practice interviews in public، يعني it's often intimidating، بس بالعكس يعني هاي الشغلة تجربة ناجحة إن شاء الله عشان إنه to get out of the comfort zone و that's how you guys grow. اليوم عندنا ضيف مميز جدا اللي هو الدكتور عامر أبو شناب. أكيد يعني أغلبكم بيعرفوه عشان إنه بالفترة الماضية كان جدا نشيط مع الكوميونتي الأردنية، وإله الفضل بمساعدة كثير من الطلاب بالموضوع الماتش وما بعد الماتش وما قبل الماتش. شكرا لدكتور عامر ولوجودك معنا اليوم. طبعا دكتور عامر خريج طب من الجامعة الأردنية 2019، بعدين بالأردن he was involved as اشتغل مع الحسين للسرطان واشتغل مع different NGOs، وكان very important aspect of his job was to interview candidates. So he interviewed يعني أتوقع hundreds of candidates for different positions. And after that he moved to the US. He's currently as a PGY2 internal medicine بنيو جيرسي. شكرا دكتور عامر لوجودك معنا اليوم. ومعنا دكتور محمد سلامة طبعا. و I think we can start. I'll move the mic لدكتور عامر if you want to start.
شكرا خالد، وشكرا دكتورة أمل ومحمد، وشكرا للجميع اللي حاضرين اليوم. آم، احنا الآن بس حاعطي كأوتلاين سريع للناس اللي هسه دخلت. احنا هنعمل زي شورت introduction، بعدين هنعمل mock interviews with 3 applicants. الانترفيوز يعني حتكون لايف، وهنعطي فيدباك بعد كل انترفيو. كل انترفيو حتكون 10 to 12 minutes. بعديها حيكون في آم، زي فيدباك على الانترفيو، بعدين اللي بعدها واللي بعدها، واخر شيء هنعطي زي جنرال سمرايزيشن للموضوع، وهناخذ كل الاسئله. يا ريت يعني اي اسئله حتيجي في النهايه او بخطر لكم تكتبوها وبنجاوبها بالنهايه، ويا ريت تكون كلها يعني ريليتد للموضوع اللي هو الانترفيو، اساس تكون مور فوكست. طيب، نبلش كانترودكشن. هو سريع لاشياء انتم اكيد عارفينها، ولكن بحس انه احنا يعني بالكالتشر تبعيتنا في عنا اشياء ممكن تكون محدده لنا بشكل عام صراحه. للامانه يعني مش بحكي هذا الاشي مني وجزء الدكتور خالد، واي حدا ممكن يأيدني، للناس اللي شافوا الدكاتره الاردنيين فعلا مميزين، وفعلا يعني سمعتهم طيبه وبروفيشنال وبينتجوا، يعني انتاجيتهم منيحه. ولكن احنا بدنا نركز على الاشياء اللي ممكن ما بنتعلمها في خلال كليه الطب، لكن هي مهمه هنا في اليو اس. انا بحكي الان في موضوع الماتش تحديدا. زي موضوع البروفيشناليزم، موضوع انك تكون هون على الوقت، هاي اكيد انتم كلها عارفينها اشياء. ولكن خلال الانترفيو في اشياء يعني بركزوا عليها احنا بالاردن مش متعودين انه يتركز عليها. فراح ابلش اول شيء اللي هو why they do the interview. انه ممكن انا اقرا البيرسونال ستيتمنت تبعيتك، او اقرا السي في تبعيتك، وخلص اختارك ليش اني اعمل انترفيو. مجرد ما انت وصلت لمرحله الانترفيو this means something. this means انه انت موضوع سكورات، موضوع علامات، موضوع knowledge wise، موضوع كذا، انت عديته كله. which means خلال الانترفيو يعني this should not be the core. انه ما تيجي تحكي انا امتحاناتي وعلاماتي وكذا وكذا. you already passed this. تمام. فاحنا الان فهو احنا بدنا نفهم ليش هم بيعملوا الانترفيو. اذا هم عرفوا عن علاماتنا، انه يعرفوا اشياء ثانيه. شو هي هاي الاشياء؟ أول شيء يعني الإقامة صعبة، وقد ما واحد يوصف لك قديش هي صعبة، بتضل يعني فيها صعوبة ما بتعرفها إلا بس تجربها أنت. تمام. فبدي أتأكد إنه الشخص اللي بده يجي عندي يعمل الريزنسي for 3 years or more قادر إنه يمر في هاي الفترة الصعبة ويعديها. تمام. ليش؟ كثير من المقيمين بيجوا هون بيمروا في مشاكل وبيعملوا مشاكل لأنفسهم للبروجرامز، سواء في أشياء مش بإيدهم، ممكن مثلا يصير معاه مشاكل نفسية، اكتئاب، انكزايتي، شغلات، هاي أشياء مش بإيده. ولكن I want to make sure أو إنه أنا أقلل من هاي النسبة بين المقيمين، خصوصا إذا يكون بروجرام خلينا نحكي مثلا متوسط او صغير. فانا عندي 10 مقيمين، اذا اثنين منهم صار عندهم مشاكل، انا صار عندي يعني صارت عندي يعني مشكله في الجدول ومشكله في الدوام ومشكله في كذا. فانا بدي اقلل هذا الشيء. زائد هي اول شغله، فهم بدي يتاكدوا انه انت امورك تمام، مستعد، جاهز نفسيا، بدنيا، وقتيا. الشغله الثانيه، ممكن بعض الأحيان يعني هم بدهم واحد يجي يشتغل الشغل من غير مشاكل. فممكن في يكون بعض الناس شخصيته بروبلماتيك، يعني إنه أي شيء بدقق عليه، أي شيء بيعرفش متى يمشي، متى يسكت، متى يمشي الأمور. فهم يعني بيكونوا في الانترفيو بدهم يعرفوا هاي الخصائص الشخصية عنك. تمام. بده يعرفوا كمان how much you are friendly. So يعني أنت you're gonna be a stranger, you're gonna come and become one of them. So they want to make sure that you can fit in. تمام. ممكن تيجي انت بفكره معينه وهي مش موجوده عندهم، فانت تنصدم هناك عندهم بهاي الفكره. فانا بحكي هسه عن شغلات عامه ان شاء الله راح نطبقها في الانترفيوز، في الموكس، ولكن انا بحكي بشكل عام عشان تفهموا، يعني توصل الفكره اوضح. ليش الانترفيو مش عشان يعرفوا انت قديش شاطر او يعرفوا قديش عندك انجازات علميه او قديش عندك publications. هم بدي يعرفوا الاشياء الاخرى اللي انا ذكرت بعض منها. موضوع انه بدهم يعرفوا ويتاكدوا انك انت شخصيتك فريندلي، انك انت ما عندك يعني شخصيه تعمل مشاكل وهيك. واخر شيء بدهم يعرفوا بعد ما when you pass these things انه how you can add to the program. تمام. انه ممكن انت مثلا programs بدها ناس تشتغل ريسيرش، انت تيجي تحكي له انا بشتغل ريسيرش، ف you can add something, but this is not the priority. The priority is to make sure that you can first join and pass the residency. بعدين هاي الاشياء كيف تحسن البروجرام. فهي انا ليش بذكرها؟ عشان انتم تخلوا في بالكم انه ممكن انت تمرر اشياء خلال المقابله، تحكي لهم اني انا ممكن اضيف للبروجرام شيء زي بريسيرش، زي بعلامات، زي بمحاضرات، زي باشياء. طيب فاحنا هاي حكينا موضوع اول، يعني جاوبنا اول سؤالين اللي هو ليش الانترفيو، وايش معنى انك انت وصلك انترفيو يو باست خلينا نحكي الاشياء الاساسيه. طيب واتس يور تشانس عاليه. تمام. الستاتستكس بتحكي انه اي واحد يعني او نسبه الماتش في الانترنال ميديسن فور اكزامبل از لايك 56% are IMGs. تمام. ف انت متخيلين انه 56% من الناس اللي بيماتشوا في الانترنال ميديسن هم IMGs. فالنسبة هاي نسبة كثير عالية. زائد هي مش شغلة واحد لواحد، انه انت بتعمل مقابلة هون، انت نفسك رح تعمل مقابلة بمكان ثاني وثالث ورابع وخامس، بس في الاخير حتروح على مكان واحد. نفس الشيء الناس اللي بيجوا معك. بمعنى اخر اللي عم بحكي لكم اياه، فرصتكم عالية. تمام. كلكم ما دام اجتك انترفيو وحده، اثنتين، ثلاثة، أربعة، خمسة وهيك، انت فرصتك عالية. فدونت جيف اب. تمام. واعطي كل فرصه التشانس كامله، ابحث عنها، تيك ات سيريس. لان بشوف بعض الناس مثلا اجى تو انترفيوز بقول لك خلاص شكلي ما راح امتش. كثير ناس منتشوا بتو انترفيوز، 3 انترفيوز. I'm not saying that عشان انا اعطيكم motivation. I'm saying that because this is the reality. But I'm trying just to make sure انه you take it seriously even if it is just one interview. شو هم الاشياء اللي بدهم اياها منك؟ هم they want you to be honest number one. Because they want to know you. If you try to fake things ممكن تنطلي عليهم، بس إذا انكشفت أو إذا حسوا إنك أنت you are not genuine, you are not honest، بصير عندهم لا، طب ما هو عندنا واحد تاني كان more genuine more honest ماشي أموره، فأنا ليش آخذ هذا الشخص. تمام. فهذا الإشي بيخلينا كمان بعض الأحيان بحس إحنا الكالتشر تبعيتنا إننا بنحب نحكي للمقابل الإشي اللي هو حابب يسمعه. صح ممكن تضبط هذا الإشي ببعض الأحيان، صح هذا الإشي صح نعمله بعض الأحيان، ولكن مش دائما لازم نعمله. تمام. يعني معظم الأحيان لازم أكون أنا سألني سؤال لازم أجاوب أنا شو عن جد، يعني إجابتي من جوا. تمام. والمفروض تكون إجابتك هي الحقيقة، والمفروض تكون إجابتك عادي. يعني إحنا ما عندنا مشاكل على أساس إنه نخبي إجاباتنا. ف don't try to fit in, try to be genuine, honest و humble. إيش يعني humble؟ humble هي كلمة سهلة ولكن تطبيقها صعب. إنه بدك تكون interactive. يعني صار إشي قدامك don't إنه ما تحكي مالي دخل. هسه برضه رح نحكي بعض يعني نعطي أمثلة على الموضوع خلال الموك انترفيو، ولكن you have to be يعني كيف احكي لك، تحس الطرف اللي قدامك انك مهتم. هسا ممكن تكون مهتم حقيقة، لو انت مش مهتم حقيقة اظهر شوية اهتمام، يعني ولو هسه في المرحلة الحالية ان شاء الله، بس تيجوا تمتشوا او تيجوا على امريكا راح تنبنى هاي الصفة عندكم. لكن احنا بدنا اياها بالانترفيوز هسه عشان تقدروا ان شاء الله انه يعني to master the interview and you do good in the interviews، وان شاء الله انه تعدوا الموضوع. Um, so yeah, they expect you to be genuine, honest, friendly, smiling, to fit in easily, and to be like easily to approach. Um, just the last two things I want to mention, اللي هو uh, هذول الشغلتين انا بحب دائما احكي فيهم، لانه بحس انه ممكن برضو بالكالتشر تبعينا في كثير اشياء ايجابيه وكثير اشياء منيحه، ولكن عندنا بعض الاشياء ممكن احنا نحسنها. من ضمنها the way of we communicate an information. Okay, so and the way we ask. So صحيح منيح انك to say it direct always، بس sometimes هون متعودين انه sometimes انه give it some like some kindness يعني في الطريقه اللي بتسال فيها او deliver information. انت ممكن تحكي مثلا انه انا والله بحب اعمل ريسيرش، تمام، عادي، it's very straightforward و very خلينا نحكي genuine from you. بس هنا بحبوا الاشياء تكون more smooth، تمام. انه ممكن تسال انه how is the research productivity في البروجرام. نايس، انه انا كمان بحب شيء ملفت لي موضوع الريسيرش. بس مجرد انك حكيت انت شيء ملفت لي موضوع الريسيرش، you are يعني هم فهموها انك انت you are interested in research without saying that I want to do research. بس ايش بيفرق هذا الشيء؟ بيفرق بالطريقه اللي هم they get it. they get it انه it's part that you might work on but it's not mandatory for you. احنا الاردنيين بس بنحكيها بطريقه مباشره انه I want to do research. بمعنى اخر اذا انت اذا انا البروجرام تبعي ما عم يعمل ريسيرش كثير، ف I know that you will not fit in. انت حتيجي حتتوقع هعمل ريسيرش وهيك، فما فيش انا عندي كثير. انا عارف البروجرام تبعي مثلا، انا بحكي على مثال انه انا عندي بروجرام مثلا وعارفه، وعارف انه productivity ما راح it will not match your expectation. I will not select you not because I don't like you but because you might not like me. You know what I mean. ف فبدنا نكون حذرين بهذا الموضوع، انه احنا ما بدنا نرمي الموضوع وكأنه I want to do research, I want to do teaching. طب انا ما عندي students to teach. I want to teach, I want to do research, I want to do travel for conferences. طب انا عارف ان انا I can't support you going to ممكن support for one conference but I can't support you going to conferences. فهم لما تجيهم برساله بيجيهم انه انت بدك هيك وبدك هيك وبدك هيك. بينما انا دائما بحكيها انه وصلوها بطريقه more humble، تمام، just يعني بطريقه oh nice, how often the residents go to conferences. Okay, so you support like one conference a year for each resident. That's nice. That would be great for me. I like going to conferences, and I would like to explore more about this. So بتوصل الرسالة من غير ما تحسسهم إنه this is a must for you. This is something وكثير اشياء حتى لما بدك انت توصلهم معلومه، مثلا انك انت مثلا اكتف في موضوع مثلا الكوميونتي، ما بتيجي تحكي لهم I am active بموضوع الكوميونتي، بتحكي لهم I worked on different مثلا community movements or campaigns, and they were very nice. I have different exposure and different experience when I work on these things. و and this is like something I'm looking for in the future. انت بتوصلهم معلومه يعني انت you like the community service without saying it directly. مجرد انك انت حكيت انك يعني اشتغلت هذا الشيء وحبيته، فهم بياخذوا الرساله بطريقه مش شرط تحكيها بطريقه مباشره. فانا عم بس حكيت هاي الاشياء لاني حسيت في الفتره يعني الماضيه هاي الاشياء بلشت تظهر عندنا اكثر واكثر، واحنا ممتازين، احنا شغلنا كثير نظيف، علمنا ممتاز، شخصياتنا منيحه، بس بصفي بحس مرات عندنا شويه جمود ببعض الامور. we are not humble enough بعض الاحيان. we are not interactive enough. alright. طيب، فالان احنا رح نبلش بالموك انترفيوز. اجين اي شيء حكيته انا او كذا صار عليه اي سؤال او تعليق، ما بعرف خالد اذا تضيف شيء تفضل.
لا بالعكس والله كفيت ووفيت.
الله يخليك يا رب. راح نبلش بالموك انترفيوز. راح نعمل مع خالد، بعدين مع جود، بعدين مع بهاء. تمام. آم،
Before we start, يعني you guys need to know that this is a safe place. It's not easy to interview. بس نحن هنا يعني مش راح it's not gonna be easy, but at the same time we're not gonna make it hard for you guys. فfeel free to be, you know, تخطئوا، تعملوا أخطاء، تنعجقوا بالكلام. هنا this is the best time to practice. فنحن we're not gonna overwhelm you. Don't worry if you make mistakes. نحن we're not here to judge you guys.
exactly. So yeah, again, it's supposed to be like a real interview. Um, supposed to be إنه يعني to have the experience. تمام. بس still just be genuine the same way أنت تدربت. اعملها هسه الآن وحتاخذ فيدباك إن شاء الله، وإن شاء الله إنه الأمور تكون طيبة. تمام. طبعا الانترفيو كلها حتكون في الإنجليزي لأنه هذا الإشي اللي راح يكون. ف let's go ahead start with خالد. Let me
Yeah, hello, Doc.
just a sec. So usually في الانترفيوز راح يكون في عندكم راح تبدوا مع شخص اللي هو البروجرام دايركتور او مثلا الكوردينيتور، يعطيكم زي هيك شيء جنرال، وبعدين راح تتقسموا. لما تتقسموا راح تكونوا تفوتوا على رومز، ما راح تنتظر، ما راح تبلش. فضروري يعني تكونوا اللي هو حاضرين حتى خلال التقسيم، انه ما يعني تكون حاضر ذهنيا، ويعني بعينك الله على هال 5 6 ساعات. All right. Okay. So now we have Khaled. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Thank you so much for
Hey,
having
how are
me.
you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much. How are you doing today?
I'm all good. I mean, it's very nice to see fresh graduates who are like applying to the match and excited for their journey. I can see that you don't live in the US, right?
No, that's correct. I don't live in the US.
Where are you right now?
I'm currently in Jordan. I was born and raised
Okay.
in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and I studied in Cyprus, but now I'm currently in Jordan, which is like my home country.
That's nice. What's the time difference between here and there? I'm just curious.
It's approximately like 7 hour difference. So like when it's 1 p.m. Eastern time, it's about 7 or even 8 p.m. Eastern time if you're taking into consideration the
7 hours. So
yeah.
is it night now or morning? Like,
It's night currently. It's like
oh,
8
it's night.
8 p.m. now.
I mean, it feels weird, like it's shiny outside here, but I mean it is night there.
Yeah,
So
I know. It was
yeah.
hectic.
So how was your day?
Oh, it was amazing. Thank you so much for asking. I was like just preparing for the interviews like everyone else this match season
Oh
and
yeah, I
hoping
mean
for the
it's
best.
the match season. Oh, is that the middle in the back?
Yeah, thank you so much for noticing. It's to be honest, it's something that I'm very proud of. It's like
What is it?
when I graduated as a valedictorian, they gave it to me after I gave like my speech. So I like to make it shine.
Mm. So yeah, it must be something very meaningful to you. But what was the speech about?
So I tried to get like make it a bit motivational because I knew from like past graduates that a lot of people actually come, especially like young med students. So
Mm-hmm.
I tried to make it as motivational as possible, making it seem like it's of course everyone would know how difficult it is, but at the same time that it is doable. Like I'm standing right here, and it was actually the first time that an Arab was in like the valedictorian. It was usually either a person from that country or like from other countries. So it was very overwhelming, especially to us Jordanians. We had a lot of Jordanians there, so they were very
Mm.
proud. I was proud of that, to be honest. So I tried to keep it as motivational as possible for the younger people behind me.
I mean that's amazing. Um, that's really amazing, and what's this say? That's really amazing. You should be proud of yourself. Like this is something to be proud of. All right. So this is your first time going to the match?
Yeah, so after I graduated, I knew that I had to come back to my country to do my postgraduate internship, which
Mm-hmm.
would be very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
So I waited till I came back to Jordan, did
Mm-hmm.
my internship. I'm almost done with it now. I also took the time to actually study and do the step 3 exam, which I finished in like January of this year. And I was also like focused on other aspects that might also help me and also like get ready for this match season so that hopefully I'd be as prepared as possible.
That's very nice. Tell me more about like who's Khaled?
Yeah, sure. I would love that. So as I explained briefly before, I was born and raised in Riyadh, the capital of Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
I was born as the eldest of 5 siblings.
Mm-hmm.
I stayed in Saudi Arabia until I graduated from high school, which then I applied for med schools across the world, to a couple of different places. I finally went to Near East University, which is in Cyprus, where I went for my medical school. I stayed for 6 years there studying, and during my interactions there, I was very happy and surprised with how much internal medicine was a fit for me. I felt very comfortable going to the clinics with the physicians, rotating in the different subspecialties, and just enjoying my time there. And I felt that it also got solidified when I went for a couple of rotations in the US, where I spent like a couple of months in New York, also in internal medicine subspecialties. And that's how I knew it was like the right fit for me. I also spent my time there teaching. I love teaching students. I actually helped organize a first teaching session where we also helped younger medical students with their course load. And then later on, after I passed my STEP exams, I also helped students interested in taking the STEP exams. And to be honest, that was also how I found out or met my now fiance, which is like a major thing that happened in my life. And then I went back
Very
to
nice. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And after graduation, I went back to my country, Jordan, to start my internship here, postgraduate internship, which, as I explained, is almost done by now.
That's really nice. But I don't know, maybe I missed it. Um like what do you like to do when you are like have some free time? Like I don't know if you mentioned that or not.
Yeah, that's a very good question. I think I did mention it, but usually before
Mm-hmm.
med school, I really loved playing basketball. In fact,
Mm-hmm.
I was part of the basketball team at my school, both in middle school and high school, and I also like dabbled a bit with volleyball. I was
Mm-hmm.
very interested in sports. Unfortunately, like a lot of different people, med school was a bit hectic time-wise, so I wasn't able to play professionally or like competitively. But I still played recreationally, like at least once a week, sometimes once a month, depending on the rotations that we had at the moment. But I still do enjoy playing sports such as basketball and volleyball. Those are my top choices to do in my free time.
That's very nice. You know what? We have a basketball court like just like 10 minutes from our hospital. So if you end up matching here, you're gonna enjoy it. And
Awesome. I'd love
I
to
don't
play.
know if you know that, but we are near the beach if you want to play volleyball. I don't know if you play there, but I mean this is very good opportunity for you if you end up matching here that I'm sure you're gonna like it.
That's amazing. I would love that.
Yeah, you mentioned that you did some rotations during your medical school and you made sure that this is the specialty that you want. How did you know that? Like, what things made you make this decision?
Hmm. Now, of course, there's not one single factor that happened that made me be like, oh, yeah, this is the exact thing that made me
Mhm,
choose this specialty.
mhm,
But during my rotations, like, for example, I spent more than 6 months. If we add
mhm,
all the 6 years that I had in med school, more than 6 months of them were in internal medicine or its subspecialties. And during most of that time, I felt that internal medicine is the cornerstone of the hospital. Like
mhm,
we always had contact with the other specialties. Like they always relate back to us in regards to different patients. They always needed our help, or they needed let's say, our expert eyes, or
mhm.
their expert eyes. Hopefully, mine in the future. In regards to seeing a patient, or maybe like, is this patient fit for surgery, or so I felt like it's one of the cornerstones of the hospital, which I believe is something that someone would be very proud of. And I also noticed that it has a lot of different things that we still don't know about. Like in almost all different subspecialties. I always go there and find like it's either something that was found by luck or find that it's something that, oh, this may be like something to do research about. And I found like actually that's how research is made, like that people would be doing their work, something happened and be like, oh, why is it solved like that? Or why is it treated this way? And then they try to find research about it. So all of these factors combined would made me choose this specialty.
That's really nice. Um, I think you mentioned you are done with step 3, and I read in your application that you have been in Brooklyn. So how was it there? I hear that I have never been. You know what? I've never been in Brooklyn, but they say like it's very cold there. Is that true?
Very cold, sorry.
Yes.
Oh, well, to be honest, I did go there in July and August.
Oh, July.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Not
was
experience that. Okay.
yeah, it was very nice. But I was in New Jersey in January, and it was
Mm-hmm.
extremely cold, like colder than the place that I used to that I'm used to, which is Saudi Arabia or Jordan.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there a reason why you were in New Jersey at that time? Because I couldn't see that in your
Yeah, I was in New Jersey where I took my step 3 exam in January.
Oh, that's why. All right. I mean, congrats for finishing step 3. This is like a very important step that you have done. And we sponsor H1, so you might be eligible for that as well, which is a very good opportunity for you as an international medical graduate. Um, okay, so also, I could see that you were in some activity called what is it? The
Avicenna?
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
to be honest, yeah, that's something that I'm very proud of. So basically,
yeah.
what
So
happened?
so
Yeah.
yeah, my question is like just tell me one thing that you have learned from this experience.
If I could summarize it in one thing, like, and one thing only, I believe it's humility. Because
Mm-hmm.
like, it made me feel like because I've been used to working in a hospital setting and used to having everything accessible. And
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, when someone needs something, like it's right there. Anything that the physician might need, you just reach out or like call the nurse or someone and they get it for you. But going to like rural areas or like going helping like those different peoples like outside a hospital setting would change the way that a physician might think in that situation. Like I can't
Mm-hmm.
send this patient to the pharmacy and tell them to get me this list of medications, for example, or I can't expect this patient to come to me to do like this certain operation. It doesn't work like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that this helped change the mentality of how we should interact with patients and try to get the least amount of resources to help them without having to like go all abroad and like think of all the differential diagnoses that might have that the patient might have and just like stick to the limits that we have.
That's very nice. I'm sorry, we are short of time. I just want to hear if you have any questions for me.
Yeah, I do have a couple of questions, to be honest. I've been through
Sure, go
your
ahead.
website and I realized that you have a 6-week boot camp, which I found very interesting because usually, like, I've read about other programs who have 4 weeks or maybe sometimes less of
Mhm.
boot camp. So, can you please elaborate a bit more on what we are expected to do? Would there be patient interaction during those 6?
Yeah, I mean, I personally, I don't. So we used to have like just 4, just like other programs, but the residents preferred it to be more because they have a good exposure during these. Um, you have to like work more. They liked it in brief, so they wanted to do more. And our program is always like accommodating to the residents wishes as long as it's something we can do, and we extended it to 6 weeks so they can experience it more. As just like I personally don't agree with it, but it's fine. We have it, residents like it, but yeah. So what other questions do you have?
That's it. Thank you so much for your time. I'm really glad.
Oh, sure. Thanks for showing up today. It was a very pleasant talking to you, and I wish you the best in your
Thank
match.
Thank you
Sure.
so much.
Sure. أنا راح أشوف الكومنتات هون. I see دكتور yes. Yeah. So راح أبلش، خليني في النقاط الإيجابية، راح أذكر النقاط اللي حكيتهم دكتورة أمل. راح أبلش في النقاط الإيجابية. صراحة you did 3 things that I highly recommend everyone to do. First of all, زق الكلام، انا هيك بسميه، انا هحكي بالعاميه، تمام؟ اللي هو لما تسأل عن شيء هو اعطاك شيء ثاني ميز، لانه هو عارف الوقت راح يكون ضيق، فهو حكى اشياء كثير في اجابات على اسئله وكانت فيري سموث. يعني حكى عنا مثلا انه هو مثلا خاطب او متزوج من غير ما انا اسال. حكى مثلا هذا الشيء بيحكي لي انه هو عنده سبورت سيستم، انه مش حيجي هون يكتئب وعنده حدا، يعني his life is filled. حكى لنا مثلا، او انا حكى لي انه عمل ستيب 3 without asking him. تمام، برضه دبها انه انا بس جيت عملت ستيب 3 وبس حكاه وكمل. هسه اذا انا مهتم بساله عليه، اذا انا مش مهتم انا وصلتني الصوره. حكى لنا كمان اشياء انه مثلا عمل activities معينه without انا asking him and he made me curious to ask about these things. So هذا إشي كثير كثير مهم.
So what is ClickUp is an all-in-one.
ما سمعت إذا في حد سأل أو شيء، بس الفكرة إنه بعض الأحيان بدك تعرف إنه وقتك محدود، فأنت بدك تحاول تعطي المعلومة اللي ممكن هم they missed it or you think it's a strength for you، بس تعطيها بطريقة سموث. ما تحكي لهم على فكرة أنا بحكي لكم شيء، أحكي لكم مرتين ثلاث، لأنه it does not look good. بس أنت بهيك under يعني the water بتمشيها بالسؤال، تذكرها وبتمشي. إذا هم بدهم يركزوا عليها بيرجعوا بيسألوك عنها، إذا هم سمعوها ممكن خلاص هي معلومة مشى. هاي الشغلة الأولى. الشغلة الثانية very calm and confident. أنا بحب هيك، خلص خليك calm confident من غير توتر. تحكي جنون. سألته سؤال هو ما كان متوقعه عن موضوع إيش إشي أنت تعلمته، تمام؟ he think very fast وأعطانا إجابة منطقية ما ضر فيها نفسه، تمام؟ وأعطاني هو 4 إجابات في إجابة واحدة. يعني قال لي إنه مثلا كان في شورتج في المكان اللي هو اشتغل فيه، ويبدو إنه في كامبين أو في مخيم أو شيء، بس أعطاني إنه he can work when the resources are limited. He can work when it is tough and he can manage himself. So هاي الصفات اللي عم توصلني من لما حكى. بعض الاشياء اللي ممكن نحسنها، اول شيء زي ما حكت الدكتوره امل، الكاميرا. انا مش احسن كاميرا عندي، بس انا السيتنج عندي شوي مختلفه في البيت صراحه، ما قدرت اضبط زي ما بدي، بس انا I'm not doing it. You should have the settings. So انت مبين معنا لهون، تمام؟ هو لا، لازم تبين راسك كامل وفوقيه كمان شوي، تمام؟ الإنارة عندك منيحة برضو. موضوع مثلا السقف مبين عندك، أنا لو مكانك بنزل الكاميرا وأنا بنزل، بعرفش كيف أنت وين قاعد، بس يعني بشكل عام هاي موضوع على السيتنجز. الإضاءة منيحة عندك. بالنسبة للكلام فممكن كل حدا له وجهة نظر. أنا بالنسبة لي بعض مش أنت، كل حدا بده يميز بين الأسئلة الطويلة والأسئلة القصيرة. لأن في سؤال مثلا tell me about yourself، هذا سؤال طويل المفروض أنت تجاوب عليه خلال دقيقة، دقيقة ونص، مش 5 دقائق طبعا، ولا انه 10 ثواني. في اسئله لا قصيره. فالاسئله القصيره انه مثلا yes or no questions، او مثلا سؤال بس انه احكي لي مثلا زي هيك I was straight to the point، احكي لي بس شغله واحده تعلمتها هون. فما تعطيني اجابه طويله، انا بدي مباشره اجابه، لانه انا بكون عندي اسئله ثانيه لسه بسالك اياها. you are limiting me بانك انت عم تاخذ وقت كثير. والامريكان بشكل عام بس يعملوا مقابله ما بيوقفوا الواحد. يعني انت لو حكيت لساعه خلص بتحكي لساعه بس تخلص بقول لك خلص الوقت، ما بسالك شيء ثاني. بس this is a negative thing, it's not a positive thing. بعض الأحيان كنت تحكي أسرع من اللازم، فأنا بحكي عارف إنه عندك مجموعة أفكار بدك تعطيهم كلهم which is fine. بس again you have always to have like contact مع المتحدث، تعرف إنه فاهم عليك. أنا كنت فاهم عليك كل شيء، بس أنا بعرف راح يقابلوك ناس ما إلهم على لهجتنا، ما إلهم على طريقة كلامنا، وممكن كبار في العمر عندهم hard hearing كذا كذا، فأنت بدك تكون لماح بهاي الأمور. looks like you have been talking in English for a long time. فهذا الإشي كثير بساعدك وبساعد أي حدا، ولكن هالإشي بدنا نعرف نسيطر عليه. يعني هاي الأشياء الأساسية بشكل عام. صراحة you did very good job. You are prepared. Keep just working on the setting. بشكل عام الإجابات، ميز السؤال الطويل من السؤال القصير. تمام. وزي هيك يعني واحد بيكون هو شوي متوتر على الموضوع، بس يعني ما بعرف، انا حاولت اعملها قريبه جدا على الواقع يعني. بعرفش خالد اذا عنده اي اضافه على موضوع الفيدباك، وما بعرف شو كمان تعليقه بشكل عام على
والله الصراحة I think you did excellent. يعني it was impressive. You presented yourself very well. إجاباتك كانت كافية ووافية، مش كثير قصيرة ومش كثير مطولة يعني، وكانت back and forward يعني بينك وبين الانترفيور. ف I think it went very well. ما في significant feedback يعني. the only thing بالضبط الكاميرا، يعني الانجل تكون يعني بدل ما تكون واطية تحاول ترفعها شوي. والنقطة البسيطة بس هو يعني هي بتصير هاي الشغلات، إنه لما سألك عن الانترست حكيت له I think I did mention it before. هاي إشي عادي، إنه يعني هو ما بالضبط ما بدك تحسس إنه والله you're not listening to me وهيك. بس overall you were very humble و I think you presented yourself well.
أوسو موضوع أنت برضه حكيت شغلة هسه ذكرني فيها خالد، شكرا خالد كثير. حكيت إنه that's a very good question على سؤال هو سؤال عام. يعني لو أسألك مثلا شو اسمك، ما بتقدر تحكي that's a very good question، تمام. فيعني ما حسيت إنها genuine، تمام. ف it's okay. That's a very good question, you should use it when it's needed, alright. فالأسئلة العامة صراحة doesn't وبصراحة ما بحب، ومش ما بحب، هو الأفضل إنك ما تتعامل مع الانترفيور على أساس إنه يعني you are interviewing him، تمام. باخر بارت، تمام، كان لما هو بعطيك العكس، بقول لك يلا انت you can interview me، تمام. فعشان هيك انا دبيت لك شغله، حكيت لك انه البروجرام تبعي accommodating the residents ومش عارف شو، فانا بمدح بالبروجرام تبعي. this is my job، تمام. اعطيتك رايي الشخصي، حتى لو يعني اعطيتك هي كمان شغله ثانيه، حكيت لك انه حتى لو انا شخصيا مش متفق مع الموضوع، ولكن مع ذلك انا مشى الموضوع، مشى لانه الريزنس كان بدهم. فانا اعطيتك كمان شغلتين، انه احنا بنحترم الريزنس وبنعمل اللي بدهم اياه. ومن فانا this is how you should look into things. زي ما انا عملت هون، انتوا الجميع يعني لازم تعملوا لما تسالوا سؤال، تمام، انه تحاول to present yourself. I wasn't trying to impressing you. I was just like being honest, but at the same time this is like the reality. The question، في كثير اسئله ممكن انت تسالها. ما بتوقع ان السؤال اللي انت سالته يعني هو، ما هو فيش سؤال مناسب او لا، بس هو في مساله اكثر يعني تبين لي انه انت مهتم بالبروجرام او بالاشياء. لكن احنا هسه ما في بروجرام معين انت محضر عنه، لكن بشكل عام حاول اسال شيء تخلي الانترفيوي انه يحس انه هو افحمك في الاجابه، و انه يعني اعطاك شيء بيعجبك، فهمت علي كيف؟ وانت بالاخير you can make your mind. سكر الكاميرا، احكي هذا البروجرام انا اصلا مش حارنكم، ما فيش مشكله، لكن بالخلال المقابله حاسسهم انه انت هذا البروجرام انت بدك تروح عليه، تمام. لا، واساله اسئله وخليه يسالك ويقنعك، قول له والله وشيء كثير ممتاز وهيك وهيك. لما تخلص ما عجبك البروجرام عادي، لا رنكه بالاخير بالكذا. بس you did a very good job، و يعني very good صراحه. عشان الوقت حنروح على الانترفيو نمبر 2، راح تكون مع جود. خالد you wanna go ahead.
تمام. جود جاهزة؟
بلى.
أنت بس عندك نوار مش هيك؟
اه
أوكي تمام. خلينا نبدأ. وإذا بدك يعني feel free، هاي laid back interview، فيعني if you want to take a moment to pause to think of a question، أو إذا لخبطتي عادي it's okay. تمام.
thank
Uh,
you.
Welcome, Dr. Noor. We are very happy that you're interviewing with us today. Thank you so much for taking the time to interview with us and to apply to our program, and thank you for your interest. How are you doing?
Hi, it's my pleasure to be interviewing at your prestigious program. I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking. How have been your day? How has been your day?
Everything going well. Thank you. Thank you. Let's imagine that you're interviewing at a program called Mercy in Internal Medicine program in Mercy in Lansing, Michigan. Okay. So, أنا الكاميرا هاي تاعتي بلشت خلص. يلا let's begin now. Okay, Dr. Noor, I'm very impressed by your CV. I just went through it, and I'm very impressed by your achievement and your academic excellence and your voluntarily work. Everything looks great. We are very honored to be interviewing today. Let me first start by telling you about our program. Our program was established in 1962. We are a medium-sized internal medicine program. We started with taking 5 residents every year, and now we've expanded to 15 residents every year. Our residents are very happy about their training in our program, and they end up in prestigious fellowships, and they have successful careers when they graduate. We combine both outpatient and inpatient rotations. You're going to have your own continuity clinic where you have ownership of those patients and they will be under your name, but you will have the support attending staff when you're staffing those patients. And if you're interested in the ICU setting, we just expanded our ICU to 20-bed ICU. We have ECMO capabilities and our residents enjoy participating in procedures. So we do all kinds of procedures, including lines and things like that. We also have a very busy emergency medicine department, and we care so much about didactics. So you're going to be having daily conferences at noon where you learn all about aspects of internal medicines that's going to prepare you for the boards. Before I start, do you have any questions for me?
So far, everything is good, Samir.
Okay, great. So I know that your CV tells so much about you and it's very impressive, but I wanted to hear from you. Would you mind telling me briefly about yourself?
Yeah, of course, I'd be happy to. So my name is Jewett. I was born and raised in Jordan, Amman. I come from a family of 7 members and I'm the 4th youngest. I graduated from Jordan University of Science and Technology and currently I'm working as a general practitioner in an outpatient clinic here in Amman. Here are some things that I find important in my background. I've been always interested in sciences and decided to pursue a bachelor's degree in medicine when I was in 6th grade. I see myself as a very diverse and energetic person, always open to trying new things and experiencing and exploring different aspects of my personality. Since a young age, I've been into performing arts and have been doing classical ballet for the past 15 years or so. One major thing about me you need to know is I love human connection. I enjoy meeting new people, getting to know them, getting to be introduced to their backgrounds and different mentalities. And luckily, I was lucky to do that through my travels. I like building a connection with people and getting and learning from each other and being there for each other. I'm a very ambitious person. I always like to plan my next step and figure out my next milestone. So completing my residency in internal medicine in the US has always been a goal for me, especially after doing my elective courses there.
That's really great. And those are the traits that we're exactly what we're looking for. We are looking for approachable residents who are ambitious about what they're doing and they're looking forward to advancing their careers. We're looking for residents who can get along with other residents and can build human connections because, you know, residency is not only for training, it's a time to build connections and build lifelong friendships. And we've had great relationship with Jordan. We've always had excellent trainees from Jordan. So we are really impressed by your medical schools. Okay.
That's really nice to hear.
Yeah. What particularly are you looking for in a residency program, Dr. Nuwar?
Well, I'm looking for a bunch of different things. First, a strong internal medicine residency program that can equip me to further solidify my knowledge and clinical base. Another thing that I'm looking in a residency program is the close mentorship and the friendliness of the environment, of teaching environment. I'm also looking for a program that can give me research opportunities because I'm interested in that as well. A program where I can grow clinically and personally as well, where I can build friendship on the longer run, be social with other people. A program that can help me focus and because I have a deep passion for continuous learning. I love asking questions. So a program that can have a very great base of knowledge that can help me build and further solidify my practice.
Excellent, excellent, Jude. And those are the traits that we can help you with. Our program is a busy program. You know, we are centered in Lansing, Michigan, and we attract patients from all parts of Michigan and sometimes from Ohio and Indiana. I promise you, if you join our program, then you're going to be exposed to a diverse kinds of cases in internal medicine, from bread and butter internal medicine to the more complicated patients that require ECMO and ICU care level. And in terms of research opportunity, we definitely have some opportunities for research. Our attending physicians are part of Michigan State University, so they are expected to have research involvement during their career. So we always encourage our residents to reach out to attendings to look for opportunities when it comes to research. And to graduate an internal medicine residency program, at our program, you must be involved in at least a QI project, quality improvement project. So in terms of research, yes, we are not large enough to accommodate basic lab work, bench research, but in terms of clinical aspect research and databases, I promise you that we have all of those resources to help you with that.
Thank
Okay.
you. That's very nice to hear.
Yeah. And okay, what do you imagine to be the hardest part of residency, Dr. Jude?
Well, I believe that residency is going to be a tough period of time, because it's hard to pinpoint the toughest aspect of residency, but one of the challenges I think I might face in residency is the different background and the different healthcare system that I need to be engaged in. I think the pressure and the time. I think the pressure of handling diverse patients will be also a tough challenge in residency. However, in my previous in my different various healthcare exposure, I was introduced to different background and I was dealing with different diversity of patients. So I think although residency program will be tough, I'm 100% sure that I'm gonna be able, with your close mentorship and your guidance, I'm gonna be a very dedicated doctor in the future.
Exactly, exactly. You know, residency is not supposed to be all easy. You know, it's supposed to be the hardest part of, the hardest part of your medical training where, there's going to be long hours working and under high stress environment. But I try to look positively to this experience. My residency, helped me achieve the best person I can be. Sometimes you can grow under those stress as long as you have good wellness and you have good social support. And our program has a great emphasis on wellness, so we always check on our residents. We have quarterly meetings with the program director and the associate program director where you can discuss how things are going. And we also have a wellness panel where the chief residents can organize programs and organize activities where you guys can go outside and enjoy a hike in Michigan or enjoy the weather, and it's not always the weather is not always good in Michigan. Sometimes it can get cold in the winter time, but we have all 4 seasons. So I feel personally, I like to be in the nature which can help me improve my wellness. Okay,
Yeah,
great.
me
Looking at your CV, I enjoyed reading about your campaign for stray animals in Jordan. Me, myself,
Yeah.
have a great passion for cats. Would you mind telling me more about this campaign?
Yeah, of course, I'd be happy to. So my family and I, we always take care of animals. It was actually a family-led campaign. I decided to launch this campaign in May of 2021 because not only to take care of animals, but also to raise awareness in Jordan of taking care of stray animals, feeding them. So we decided to take the concept of taking care of animals and raising awareness into a fun and interactive way. My sister is an artist, she draws. So she basically draws illustrations of cats and different slogans, showing kindness towards animals. We would send these posters to people who reach out to us. They'd print it out, maybe color it, even use their own slogans and use their own creative way of creating or drawing something, and then they would stick it on poles or different tree barks and different stuff, alongside with food and water. Taking care of animals honestly shows a different aspect of care and compassion, because these vulnerable, innocent creatures, they don't have They don't have voices they can show their vulnerability. So I feel people who can take care of animals, honestly, they have a different and genuine compassion.
Yeah, that sounds great. I just by listening to you, I can definitely tell that you have a great passion for what you're doing, and thank you so much for that campaign. And what else do you like to do for fun?
Well, as I briefly mentioned before, I've been doing ballet for the past 15 years. I like to try different things. I've been practicing and teaching ballet as well. On this side, I used to play violin, so sometimes in my free time I practice it. I like pottery, and I've actually been introduced for the sake of trying new things. I introduced myself to pottery recently, took a few classes, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm doing it regularly now. I like exploring nature and doing outdoor activities such as hiking, cycling. Um, yeah, I think that sums it up. I'm an adventurous person, to be honest.
If you like hiking and being in nature, then Michigan would be the ideal place.
Yeah.
The southern parts of Michigan is flat, but the northern parts of Michigan are so underrated because we have all kinds of hikes and terrains and mountains and lakes. So the northern parts of Michigan is always well regarded when it comes to being in nature.
Yeah, I've actually been to Michigan during my elective course. I was in Chicago, and me and my friends we drove to Michigan. We had a road trip there. It was really nice.
Oh, how was it? What did you enjoy about it?
It was really nice. Actually, I didn't have quite enough time to explore it because it was a road trip and we went there for like a couple of hours. I was really fascinated by the beautiful by the beautiful nature landscapes. It's vibrant. I really enjoyed the close-knit communities and the shops there. It was really fun to see it actually.
Exactly. And what we like about Lansing is it's centrally located and it's just a couple of hours drive from Detroit and from Chicago and all of those major cities. So yeah, it's definitely easy to commute and go on a nice road trip if you want to
Yeah.
be somewhere that's larger than Lansing, Michigan. But also Lansing itself has a lot of things to do. We have all kinds of concerts, and if you're a fan of sports, we have avenues for sports, and we are a very large foodie city. So if you like food, you're not going to be
Oh,
disappointed here.
definitely.
Our Jordanian residents always tell us how they enjoy the food aspect when it comes to restaurants in Michigan and Lansing.
Wow,
Okay,
that's so exciting.
now just I have one more question for you, Dr. Noor, before we conclude.
Of
If
course.
a conflict arises between you and an attending, how would you address that?
Mhm. Well, first, I would ask the attending to if we can sit privately instead of letting this create tension. We can discuss it privately. I can explain my point of view respectfully and constructively. And of course, I'm going to listen to his point of view and his understanding. First, we will try to reach a solution by managing a meaningful discussion.
Mhm.
If we couldn't, I would think of involving a third party, for example, a senior attending or a program director, for example. We would both elaborate more on our points. However, I believe that stress can occur in every situation, especially in a fast-paced hospital. I'm a strong believer that with open communication and effective understanding of each other respectfully, we can reach to a point that we both understand and serve the patient in a better outcome.
I 100% agree with you. I think open communication is key here, and involving a third party when you think that the conflict is not going in the direction that you'd like. Sometimes a third party getting their feedback is an important in those kinds of situations. So yeah, that was excellent. Thank you. Okay, Dr. Noor, do you have any questions for me before we conclude?
Yeah, actually, I do have one question. Um, so are there any what kind of activities or what have you done so far to increase diversity in your program, and what activities do you have for IMGs to be involved in your program?
So we are a diverse program. That's one of the aspects and highlights of our program. We enjoy the diversity because the city of Lansing is a diverse city, and we would like that to be reflected on the training programs. And we want, our international doctors to be into seeing international patients. So I think we are a very diverse program. And in the last few years, we've increased our initiatives to increase this amount of diversity in our program. So when we're reviewing applications, we don't really look into we always do a holistic review and to make sure that this resident is a good fit for our program. We always take the feedback of our residents very importantly when it comes to the diversity of the residents. We don't want everyone to be look-alike, and we think that the diversity is very important for our growth and the growth of the residents' well-being as well. So we always take the feedback of our residents very importantly when it comes to that. We always directly, get involved with the ECFMG when it comes to initiatives that aims to increase the diversity in the programs, so we work directly with ECFMG and ACGME to help with those initiatives.
That's really nice to hear. Thank you so much for elaborating on my question.
Yeah, do you have any more questions?
No, I'm good. All my questions have been answered in your introduction. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Dr. Noor, and thank you for considering us. We would be thrilled if you join us. Please stay in touch throughout the season, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be to have interviewed in your prestigious program, and thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Okay, والله Jude, you did excellent صراحة. Everything went great. Your English and your communication sounded very clear. I didn't have any issues understanding your answers, and you just presented yourself very well. Your answers were to the point. I can tell that you've prepared very, very well. So your questions, the answers that you gave are the things that I was looking for. Honestly, not much of a. Let's see if there's anything in the comments. Dr. Amer Abu Shanab, very good English skills and accent. I like your attitude and smile. Exactly, I agree with that. Your camera angle and the setting and the background. I think الإضاءة ممكن شوي عندك معتمة، بس الإضاءة يعني الباك معتمة، بس overall الكاميرا ممتازة.
دكتور، أنا عندي سؤال لو سمحت بعد إذنك.
تفضل.
بخصوص السؤال لما سألتني إنه what do you think is the hardest part or the toughest part in residency؟ مش عارفة I felt يمكن هيك I was a bit cornered بالسؤال. مش عارفة كيف أنت كانترفيور حسيت.
عادي، هم هذا نحن هلا دائما بالاسئله بيكون في one or two questions that are gonna stress you a little bit. That's the aim of them. بس مش الايم انه بالضبط هو الكل واحد بينعجق، سواء you can fumble a little bit ويمكن الواحد ينعجب but it's okay. بالاخير الواحد بده يشوف انه how are you gonna perform under stress, and I think you performed well. مرات الجواب ما بيجيك من اولها، بس once you think about the question, I think you did well when it comes to answering these questions. You don't have to answer every question perfectly, as long as you're trying your best. and sometimes بيطلع مرات اجابات غريبه لما الواحد ينحط اندر ستريس. انت ما طلع منك اجابات غريبه للامانه، فاجاباتك كانت كلها ممتازه. بالنسبه لسؤال انه if a conflict arise between you and an attending، طبعا جوابك كان excellent، بس I advise انه تستخدمي their instead of his او her، عشان you don't want to assume that attending is a male. فيعني استخدمي they or their عشان هاي neutral. this can help when it comes to questions where you don't know the gender of the attending. حدا عنده other feedback؟ دكتور عامر شو رأيك؟ how was it؟
والله يعني ما شاء الله you did very good صراحة جود. بس احنا هون I'm gonna be honest, you did very good. السيتنجز تبعك كثير ممتاز صراحة، يعني this is the perfect setting. الإضاءة، المايك كمان صراحة بعرفش المايك كيف عندك خالد، بس أنا عندي يعني إذا ما ركزت معك بروح صوت، يعني ما مش كثير بتراك with you، بس مع خالد I'm tracking. بعرفش خالد شو بتستخدم ماك بوك or بس
والله
عندك
لا اتس بروفيشنال مايك. هو مايك جود شوي مافلد، هو كان الصوت واطي
muffled exactly. Your mic
أنا
is
بس
muffled. لا قربيه بالله جود، طلعيه لهون، فوق فوق فوق
هيك
فوق.
هيك أحسن ممكن.
هيك احسن صراحة.
هيك
هو ستيل
أحسن.
muffled بس احسن.
I'll
anyway
figure it out زيك بشوف بصلحها.
yeah. اول شيء صراحة زي ما حكيت you did very good job و looks like you are like you were preparing very good. All right, first of all, some of the questions were like very clear you are reading something, right? So you should have the idea in your mind, but don't try to like say exactly what you have written. I know that you have written something in your laptop on your notebook. Don't try to read it from your mind. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
for me, it was clear for me, you were reading something. All right. The second thing is that I like more genuine answers when it comes to social things. Yeah, you can give me professional answer when we ask about general things. بس بعض الأحيان يعني زي مثلا أنت أول ما بلشتي thank you for interviewing me in your prestigious program. I feel like you just want to say this to everyone, to every program you know what I mean? So
Okay.
you need to be more humble on this. برضه لما ختمتي خاتمة يعني أنت حاضيتها كتير ممتازة انك انت ملاحظة انه لازم تبدي حلو وتنهي حلو، لكن ايش تحكي في البداية حلو والنهاية حلوة خليها variable. تمام، وخليها ديبند يعني ديبندز على الانترفيو. تمام، اذا كان فعلا والله مكان برستيجيوس مثلا community program it's not a prestigious يعني you can't say this is a يعني if you think it's prestigious then there must be something. I want you to be more genuine, that's what I'm trying to say. Another thing برضه ممكن انا احكيه على المايك والهاي بعض الأحيان بحس إنه أنا بالنسبة لي ما بحس إنه كانوا بيحبوا إنك تحكي عن نفسك. Oh, I'm very smart. Oh, I'm very ambitious. Oh, I like people. Oh, I like مثلا I'm a social person. Alright. So كنت أحس مرات إنه هاي الأشياء يعني زي ما كنت أنا أول ما بلشت في البداية حطيتكم ما تحكي دايركت. أعطيني مثال إنه you are ambitious. أعطيني مثال إنه you are a social person. Okay. Oh yeah. Usually I hang out with my friends. We go like every week. This tells me that you are a social person without saying that, and it's the same length maybe أطول شوي. تمام. The same thing لأنه بس قالك احكي عن نفسك أعطيتي مثلا 5 أشياء ورا بعض. I am كذا I am كذا I am كذا I am كذا. For me it doesn't sound good. They are true but إنه ما بحب يعني الواحد إنه مثلا دكتور أمل كمان حكت إنه أنت حكيتي I'm a very diverse person. I don't feel good about I am هاي أنا مش كتير بحسها شيء مفيد بالانترفيو. خلي الناس تحكي عنك. I might ask you how does your friend or how do your friend describe you? And then you say, oh, they say that I am the funniest person in the group, and you know what I mean? But they
Yeah.
say it. Talk about yourself. Otherwise, just practice your answers. Try to frame them in a more humble way. I think you are doing great.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. بس يعني مثلا suggestion على مثلا I'm a very diverse person. إن إيش بقدر أستبدلها؟ إنه tell me more about yourself.
So
شوف يا أخي
معلش
بس بدي أعطي تعليق، أكمل تعليق. ممتاز الانترفيو سكيلز تبعتك، الريبرزنتيشن تبعتك ممتازة، الانجلش سكيلز تبعتك ممتازة. يعني هم أكم من شغلة كانت اللي عليها اللي بحاول أحكي لك إياها دكتور عامر، إنه you can talk about yourself, you have to be confident بس don't overdo it. يعني انت ممكن لازم تحكي I am، يعني at some point يعني I am، يعني هاي احنا بنحكي عن حالنا، بالعكس هم بيحبوا البني ادم اللي confident، بس لما يشوفوا انه زياده صار الموضوع انه عمالك بدق على نفس الوتر بصير الموضوع انه لا يعني مزعج شوي للمستقبل. هاي اول شغله. الشغله الثانيه انت سالتي سؤال لدكتور خالد على موضوع السؤال اللي سالك اياه، ما تنزعجي من جوابك. اتس اوكي عادي، اتس اوكي تفضل. هلا انت يو فامبل وان تايم بعدين تصيري you go back to the hotel room. لانه كنا نقابل بشكل شخصي، يعني كنا فيس تو فيس. بتروحي انت بعد المقابله بتكتبي السؤال، بتلاقي الجواب انت بتتدربي عليه بطريقه معينه، وحطي حالك قدام المرايه. للكل هذا طبعا مش لحالك انت. حطي قدامك قدام المرايه وشوفي كيف انت بتجاوبي السؤال. بتلاقي مثلا الفيشل اكسبريشنز تبعونك مختلفه، طريقتك بالحكي مختلفه، بس يعني overall الصراحة يعني excellent representation and excellent interview skills.
شكرا كثير، شكرا دكتور.
بالضبط، هم بالاخير they judge على كل الانترفيو بشكل عام، ما بيدوروا على كل كلمه انحكت او على كل جواب انحكى. they screen for red flags which there wasn't any red flags, و they judge based on your how you present yourself, your manner, your body language, your هاي الاشياء يعني. واجاباتك والله ممتازه and I could feel your passion when it came to answering الفولنتير work تاعك. ف there was a lot of strengths and highlights. ف I think you're very ready. best of luck ان شاء الله.
شكرا. Thank you so much.
شكرا لك ول خالد. وصراحة زي ما حكينا، بس إنه يعني نأكد عليها زي ما حكى دكتور محمد، إنه كل الفيدباك اللي بنعطيه إحنا بنعطيه للشخص، بس المقصود فيه الجميع، يعني كل حدا بالروم يكون يعني ياخذ نوتس على هاي الأشياء، وإنه تو كونسيدر. و فعشان إحنا الوقت نمشي نروح على بهاء. راح يكون
Yes.
بهاء. خليني بس أشوف وين يا بهاء. Just a second. Alright. طيب خلينا نبلش.
Okay.
Hey, I think Baha, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Baha. Yeah.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. Thank you very much. How about yourself?
I'm good. It has been a very long day.
Sure it was. Yeah.
Tell me about yourself.
Yeah, sure. My name is Baha Awad. I was born and raised here in Jordan. I also attended medical school here, and I graduated in June of this year. For me, medical school was much more than I would have asked for. For me, it let me develop this passion for medicine, which gradually grew and increased throughout the years, which is something I did not expect at the beginning.
Yeah.
And I remember one time my attending telling me that if you like all of medicine, you should get into internal medicine. A statement which, after my internal medicine rotations in med school and after my clinical elective in the US.
You are moving a lot. Can you just stop
Oh, yeah,
moving?
sorry, my bad.
I
Okay,
want
my
to
bad.
focus with you. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, I apologize for that. So after my elective and after my internal medicine rotations, I thought I grew to accept this statement more, and I believed it even more. And later on, during my medical school, I was also very glad and very lucky to be supported by a group of friends who were very hardworking and very passionate about medicine. This motivated me to, at the very least, match their energy and their passion for medicine. And with their motivation, I was able to drive myself into doing extracurricular work. So I got myself some experience doing research, and I also did some volunteer work as well. Currently, as an intern, I'm very glad to be doing what I find, what I learned throughout the years in medical school. It gives me a sense of fulfillment and satisfaction. I'm currently very excited to see what the next chapter holds for me, which is internal medicine residency, hopefully.
Yeah. Where do you work at right now?
I'm currently doing a general internship here, which will cover 12 months of training.
Oh, okay. So is it like in a clinic or in a hospital?
It's mixed. So there's inpatient, outpatient, as well as emergency medicine, as well as, so we have 12 months. We have 3 months of internal medicine. We will do inpatient, outpatient, and we will do some procedures as well. Same thing for surgery, and 2 months of OBGYN, 2 months of pediatrics, 1 month of emergency medicine, and 1 month elective. I've done my elective in internal medicine department.
Oh, where did you do it? Because I can see that you have been in Germany doing your elective. Is that true?
Yeah, I've done 2 months of elective. 1 month was in the US and 1 month was in Germany. For me, it was an opportunity that I did not want to miss, since I couldn't do another elective in the US because financially it was too difficult for me. So this opportunity arose in Germany and I took it. It was in ophthalmology. And to me, it was very eye-opening, and I learned a lot about the German culture as well as the German healthcare system.
Yeah, I can see that you are speaking Germany. Is that like how good you are?
Yeah, my German level is about conversationalist. I've been learning German for 3 years now. I'm at the level of B1. So this helped me in Germany. I was able to hold conversations as well as take history from patients, and I can understand the majority of their complaints.
Okay, so you were taking history there?
Yes, I was. And this was also like under the supervision of residents, because there were a lot of different dialects that I had trouble understanding, so I always needed supervision.
I see. And so I was very impressed when I read about like the SAMs. So would you mind telling me more about like your role there and what did you do like as a person and as a group?
Yeah, sure thing. So about the group itself, so it's a bunch of American-trained doctors that, since the Syrian civil war, they have started these medical missions. Each mission would last about 1 week. They would provide free medical care for all the Syrian refugees here. This would be either medications, diagnoses, procedures, and operations, even up to transplants. So my role in these missions would be, it depends on every mission. So each mission I had different roles. One time I was responsible for basically running the clinic. I will delegate tasks to all the different volunteers. One time I was responsible for triaging patients, and I will also document all the progress that we do. And I had to also coordinate for the future procedures and operations that we had to do.
I see. That's really nice. And so you must have learned a lot there, right?
Yeah, it was a great learning opportunity. Like we had to do a lot of things in such a short amount of time. It was only 7 days. We also have to work with limited resources, limited medications. We didn't have that many staff to work with, so we were stretched thin, to say the least. But thankfully, with all the teamwork and the very good communication that we had among all the workers with us, we were able to make it succeed and hopefully make an impact.
Yeah, I'm sure that your patients also are very satisfied and happy. Is that
I hope
drawing?
so.
Do you draw? Is that yours or just
Yeah, unfortunately, no, I don't draw. It's just that
Oh,
I really appreciate arts, and I like to hang paintings whenever I have space on the wall.
okay, I got it.
Yeah.
So what do you look for in a program?
Yeah. So I think one of the most important things in any program that I would like to be in is just is that it provides the teaching opportunities for its residents, so that they have what they need of clinical skills as well as clinical knowledge. This would obviously equip them with what they need, so that whatever opportunities they are looking for, whatever their future plans is, they will be ready for that.
Yeah.
Just as important as that is that they provide a safe environment where the residents feel comfortable, supported. Obviously, this would require respectful co-workers like residents and attendings, so that the resident would feel like his voice is heard and that he's appreciated. That's really necessary for anyone to work and do his best. That's really what I'm looking for, especially since being an IMG, it's really good to have a welcoming and inviting environment.
I got you. Yeah, I think you're gonna find all of this in our program. Okay. So you mentioned that you like worked on research and like research, but look into your CV, I don't think you have much.
Yeah.
How can you explain that?
Yeah, so currently I have only 2 publications, which since you would consider that not that extensive experience. However, to me, it was like more about the experience than the publications. I learned a lot during these 2 experiences, especially the people that I have worked with and all the skills that I had to learn to do these 2 researches. And hoping that I can do research that has an impact rather than just focusing on publishing said research. I'd like it to impact me first, then maybe make an impact on the community.
I got you.
Yeah.
All right. I have a couple more questions for you, and it's getting very late here. I'm almost like done with the day.
Yeah,
So,
imagine so.
what do you think? What do you think you can bring to the program?
Yeah. Personally, I think like, one of my top qualities is my ability to adapt. So as a student, like we worked in so many different hospital settings, like we would work in large hospitals that are teaching hospitals or university hospitals, but also smaller community hospitals all across Jordan. I've also worked in the US for a limited amount of time, as well as in Germany. And during these experiences, I felt like I was quick to feel comfortable and be able to perform at my best. I think this is due to the fact that I like to continuously self-reflect and evaluate myself so that I can learn from the previous day, something that I can improve on so that the next day I can be better. And this is something that I would like to carry with me into residency.
I see. So, like in 5 years, where do you see yourself?
5 years from now, I think I will be doing my fellowship training.
Oh, you're aiming for fellowship.
Yes, I am. So currently, I'm not that set on a certain fellowship. It's between cardiology and nephrology for me. But I definitely want to get into a fellowship in the future, and later on maybe have be working maybe in a teaching hospital. So like I would like to give back to the community and give back to the students and teach future doctors, and also maybe have my own private practice at that point.
I see. I see. I mean, we always aim for residents who are looking for fellowship. You know, all of our graduates go into fellowship, and we want to continue in that. So it's good that
Saw
you
that
are.
on the website, yeah.
Yeah. So, um, just like, can you tell me about like one incident that like affected you, changed your, you know, changed something in you?
Yeah, definitely. So this happened to me during my first rotation as an intern. It was the first time that I saw CPR in front of me. So we had this patient who was brought in by the emergency, by the ambulance, and we were doing the CPR. And during this moment, this was the first time that I've seen his family coming in and checking up on him. They were very frustrated. And for me, it was like looking back at it, I thought about it as just another learning opportunity, whereas in reality, this is a life-changing day for a family. This really changed my mindset in medicine, and that for what for us is a routine thing. Like you might do CPR every day, but it's not for the patients, and you really have to respect that and give every patient all the care that he deserves.
I see. I see. Alrighty. So, what questions do you have for me?
Yeah, I just have one question, if you don't mind.
No, you can ask as much as you can. That's fine.
Yeah, thank you. So one question I had was, what change would you like to see in the future in the program?
Oh, so our program is like has been established for more than 60 years now. We had a good we have a good experience like with with the residents. It's a very big program. We accept around 60 intern a year. Not all of them are like internal medicine. So like now I see more residents are getting, into conflicts between them sometimes. So I don't know what's changing, but I would love to see more strict rules being applied in the program. But all in all, it's a very competitive program. Everyone want to join us, and it's something that everyone want to be part of. So yeah, what other questions you have for me?
Yeah, thank you. I think that's about it for now. I'll be sure to reach out by email if that's all right, if I have any questions.
All right. So, Baha, I think you did very good job, and I will send you my email, or actually you can look it up on the internet. And
Will do that, yeah.
if you are willing to join our program, just shoot me an email. All right, mention your details, and I will make sure that the program director include you in the rank list in a very good position. Okay.
Okay,
You
thank you very much.
did a very good job. Have a good rest of your day. All right.
Thank you, you too. Bye bye.
صعبتها كثير يا عامر.
صعبتها صح؟
حرام يا زلمة. لا صعبة كثير كانت. بس
انا صعبتها انه اخذنا اثنين عاديات. انا كان عندي تو انترفيوز كانوا كثير صعبين، فبجوز بالليمت هذا اقل شوي اكثر شوي، بس مبهر. انا بالنسبه لي بهاء يعني you handled it very well. I will let Khaled talk first and I will talk.
لا لا I completely agree انه الانترفيو كانت جدا جدا صعبة. وصراحة يعني this is would be انه مش كويس انه مثلا اللي بيقابلك انه يعمل مثلا to be texting. بس للأمانة all of this can happen. And I interviewed with the program directors that were texting during the interview, were not very interested in the conversation, were purposely making things hard أو unpurposely. مرات هو في هيك بتكون شخصيات. بس yeah you handled it very well. Your answers خلص يعني you did not collapse under the stress. This was a huge amount of stress. ومرات يعني people that are put under this amount of stress they can collapse إنه خلص بتبطل تطلع معهم الإجابات. بس أنت خلص you maintained your composure, you kept going, you kept answering, you presented yourself. The only feedback is I felt that you were very serious مع الإجابات. ما بعرف if this was on purpose ولا لا. عشان للأمانة مرات لما تبلش الانترفيو إنه خلص هيك صعبة من أول سؤال، مرات خلص الواحد
هي
بصير
الابتسامة
سيريس
الحلوة طلعت، طلعها من أول ابتسامة.
بالضبط. يعني هو بلش الواحد خلص
اوكي.
إذا الأول
اسف على المقاطعه، بس هي tunnel vision اتوقع بتصير بدايه الانترفيو. I just lock in and start spewing out answers.
يا
بالضبط.
زلمه هاي ابتسامتك حلوه يعني، انت لو انك ابتسمت طول الوقت
عينيك
بستنى
الحلوة،
منك.
شكرا.
لا لا بس اسمع ابدعت صراحه يعني، الله يعينك، طلعت فيك
شكرا لك.
الحره.
انا كنت يعني كمان دقيقتين كنت حبلش اعيط، بس الحمد لله خلصنا يعني.
لا 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 بالضبط. هو this was a very stressful و most of the interviews are not gonna be like this. يعني this is the minority of interviews where they put you under this amount of stress. ف you did well. بس إنه خلص إنه don't be very serious لما أنت تجاوب. مرات هو لا تلقائيا هيك شخصية الناس مرات بتكون very serious. بس حاول to relax a little bit لما تجاوب وخلص keep doing what you're doing. يعني I think you're on the long يعني the right way to do very well in the interviews إن شاء الله.
دكتور محمد any feedback؟
والله انا I have the same comments. Everything was excellent من ناحيه composure, الانسرز, your English fluency. um, حتى يعني الاسئله كانت، مش الاسئله كمان، الانترفيو كانت صعبه، مش بس الاسئله. يعني الاسئله كانت طبيعيه بس طريقه سؤال هذا كانت شوي صعبه. هلا you handled it very well, you continued with that. طبعا اكيد الشباب بليز، كل الشباب البسوا قرافات الله يرضى عليكم، واللي مربي لحيه يظبطها، اللي حالق لحيته يحلقها، ما تسووش ديرتي لوك، ما حدا بيحب الديرتي لوك هون، الله يرضى عليكم. وكمان الشعر يعني شعرك مزبوط انت، بس تاكدوا تحلقوا يعني. في ناس ما بيكونوا حالقين، مبين كله هذا الحكي طبعا. والصبايا نفس الشيء، ريبرزنتيشن، اواعي كذا. ما في داعي تحاولوا تكونوا امريكان اكسنت، هذا يعني عادي، كلنا عندنا اكسنت عربية، ومع الوقت بتصير شوي شوي احسن. الاشي الوحيد اللي عندي تعليق عليه لازم تبتسم. you have to smile you have to smile. هذا من اهم الاشياء. يعني انت كل الريبرزنتيشن تبعتك كانت ممتازة، بس يعني كنت مبين انه كتير جدي ومتوتر. فابتسم وعادي ريلاكس، حتى لو اللي قدامك هذا بتمتص غضبه انت كمان يعني، وبالاخر بيكون هو شخصيته بهاي الطريقه. أم، بيطلع هو بني ادم كويس، بس هو هيك اسئلته هيك زنخ يعني. والله
شكرا.
يوفقك.
Um, I think yeah, this is like the feedback from دكتور خالد ودكتور محمد صراحة يعني كانت كثير to the point. و I think يعني هي هاي معظم الأشياء. موضوع الحركة برضه مش كثير كان يعني ممكن تضبطه أكثر. لو كرسي تحتك مش ما بتحرك بكون أفضل، أو نفس الكرسي أتوقع فيه كبسة ثبته ما تتحرك. again الابييرنس كنا حلوين وما شاء الله عنا وكذا، بس في بعض جنسيات اخرى بتيجي اكسترا وقرافي وكذا، فما يخليهم يحسوا انه الكل لابس قرافي الا انت، فالكل ماخذ الموضوع سيريس الا انت you are neglecting it. فللاسف sometimes they judge by this even though they say they don't judge. The smile thing I think انا كنت احكي عنه، بس هم حكوا عنه كفايه، مش بس إلك طبعا، الكلام للجميع يعني ضد ناكد. فهذا بشكل عام. Otherwise you did a very good job, you handled the stress very well. ونقطة حكاها دكتور محمد بحب أكد عليها. Sometimes you should break the ice، أو مش break the ice، you should اضطر الجو. تمام، الضحكة كذا ممكن تعلق على إشي فهمت علي كيف؟ تسألني عن شيء ما حد سألني، يعني ممكن تسألني مثلا عن شيء كذا عادي زي ما الناس بتسألك أنت، لا ممكن تسألهم، فهمت علي كيف؟ بس otherwise you did a very good job صراحة. ما بعرف أي حدا عنده أي سؤال أو استفسار على الانترفيوز تحديدا بشكل عام. بليز اسألونا سواء بالصوت أو اكتبوا كتابة، إن شاء الله يعني المجال مفتوح لدكتور خالد، دكتور محمد، وأنا إن شاء الله حنجاوب لمدة 5 دقائق 7 دقائق بعدين ننهي إن شاء الله.
يعطيكم العافية دكتور عامر، يعطيك العافية دكتور خالد، دكتور محمد. أنا بس حبيت أشكركم عن جد شكرا جزيلا. I hope the candidates appreciated this great activity، وعن جد يعني جهودكم مشكورة جدا. وكمان شكرا كثير لخالد وجود وبهاء، ما شاء الله عليكم بدعتوا. إحنا يعني we're going into the details، بس definitely all three of you did great. وإحنا بس نحكي لكم عن تفاصيل overall. أي حدا فيكم حتى في هذا الأداء he would have done just fine بالنسبة للانترفيوز، بس إحنا عارفين إنكم مميزين، ودائما بس بدنا إياكم يكون كل البرفورمانس تبعكم بيرفكت. فما بدنا إياكم تقلقوا، ما بدنا إياكم تتوتروا أو تحسوا إنه انتم مش كتير زبطتوا. بالعكس انتم زبطتوا كتير، عشان هيك احنا بلشنا ندخل في التفاصيل ونعلق على كل تفصيل هون وجواب هون وإشي. فعن جد يعطيكم ألف عافية، ويعطيكم ألف عافية دكتور عامر، دكتور خالد، دكتور محمد.
الله يخليك دكتورة أمل. في عنا سؤالين، السؤال الأول باختصار لفرح، إنه ممكن نسأل أسئلة شخصية للبي دي، إنه في ناس بيحكوا اقرأ عنهم واسألهم أسئلة شخصية عن بروجكتهم بيشتغلوا أو عن شيء معين. خالد شو رأيك؟
مش غلط. if you ask the right question يعني it can be a conversation opener. برضه ممكن يحسوا انه انتم يعني قارئين عنهم وعارفين who are you interviewing with. يعني أسئلة شخصية ايش بالضبط؟ يعني إذا مثلا أسئلة عن الكارير تاعهم good. what do they like to do for fun good. يعني يعني how do they like the city things like that. بس مش very very personal questions عن عائلاتهم، عن أشياء يعني معينة. فيعني it's a balance. بس it's يعني we want it to be both ways. يعني مش غلط إنه تسألوا وهم they'll be humble and they'll be happy to answer you guys. the right question أهم شيء.
أنا برأيي إنه research the persons that you're going to be interviewing with. مش لازم تعرفوا عنهم كل specific study، كل research project هيشتغلوا عليه، بس to get a general idea عن إيش الانترست تبعتهم. يعني إذا أنتوا رايحين مثلا على قابلوا ببيدياتريك بروجرام، واللي بيقابلك مثلا نفرولوجيست، مش معقول تسألوا شيء عن الاندوكرينولوجي بروجرام. يعني مش معقول تسألوا عندكم ناس بيماتشوا بالاندوكرينولوجي، على الاغلب هو ما بيعرف. يعني اذا البروجرام كبير ما حدا بيكون عارف هاي القصص. الشيء الثاني عفوا، حاولوا تخلوا الكويستشن زي ما حكى الدكتور خالد مش بيرسونال بس بيرسونابل. يعني بشكل عام how do you see the city. how do you see living in the city with a family إذا أنتوا رايحين مع عائلة. إذا مثلا what are other residents doing for fun. هاي أسئلة بس عشان يعني يعرفوا إنه أنتوا عن جد مهتمين إنكم تيجوا عندهم، ويعرفوا كمان إنه أنتوا مهتمين تعملوا علاقات منيحة مع المقيمين والستاف الموجود بالهذا. واذا البروجرام دايركتور سبيسيفيكلي قابلكم، ممكن تسالوه سبيسيفيك كويشنز about the program عشان توروا انه انتم انترستد بهذا البروجرام. طبعا you have to research the program. زي واحد من الاسئله اللي سالها انه شو الشيء اللي بدكم تطوروه بالبروجرام، شو الشيء اللي بتحاولوا تطوروه بالبروجرام. هذا سؤال مهم، وعادي هم بيحبوا هاي الاسئله.
ثانك يو دكتور محمد. في عنا سؤال ثاني دكتور محمد بيحكي إنه في فرق بين إجا انترفيو واحد فيها ساعتين بريك أتوقع، والثاني فيها 4 5 ساعات بريك. does it matter إنه which one to choose؟ I do think so. إنه you are an applicant for them regardless أي ساعة أو أي يوم أو أي شيء. هم بدهم أفضل applicant يجيبوه عندهم، بيهمش يعني ما بيهمهم هم أي ساعة قابلوك أو متى قابلوك، هم بيهمهم إنه أحسن applicants يجوا عندهم. ف it doesn't matter this يعني in this thing. راح أجاوب كمان السؤال هذا اللي هو إني أنا لما حكيت له إنه it has been a long day. هاي شغله وي لاك everyone لاك صراحه، خصوصا كاردينيه بالكالتشر تبعيتنا. لما واحد يحكي لك مثلا it has been a long day، او يحكي لك مثلا oh my neck hurts، او يحكي لك مثلا I don't know I'm under a lot of stress، just like appreciate what they are saying. تمام. فانت كان ممكن يحكي لي مثلا oh I feel that I hope you get rest after that. يعني انه بس انه تحكي لي انه يعني انا شعرت فيك، وانا بتمنى لك انك تاخذ some rest وكذا. تمام. برضو نفس الشيء، شفت اشي حلو احكي انه حلو. oh I like your t-shirt, I like your whatever. لا تتصنع. يعني لو تيشيرت عادية ومش حلوة تحكيش عنها حلوة او كذا زي هيك. زي مثلا جودي لما حكت مثلا prestigious program. You don't know if it's not prestigious, don't say that. But لما أنا stated clearly that it has been a long day, I'm telling you that I'm tired. So just appreciate my tiredness. Just say, هل هذا يعني إني ما تسأل؟ لا، اسأل، خذ حقك كامل في المقابلة و they appreciate that. تمام. هو هذا حقك إنك تسأل قد ما بدك، عشان أنت جاي على بروجرام تترك بلدك تترك ناسك جاي على بروجرام مكان تاني، فحقك تسأل تعرف شو البروجرام. بس ما كان قصدي هيك، كان قصدي إنه to notice that and to appreciate that this is how they do it here. I don't know. أنا مش راح أحكي لك هذا صح أو غلط. أنا بالنسبة لي I do like feeling with others, but I'm just saying that. How can we answer to yeah.
انا بالعاده يعني لما فقره الجريتنج هي الاول منها كنت دائما احكي لهم انه thank you for taking the time of your busy schedule to interview with me as an applicant. يعني they would appreciate انه to thank them for taking the time عشان they all have busy schedules and some of them are not interested, but thanking them kind of breaks the ice.
Yeah. So السؤال اللي بعده how can we answer the question why you did not signal us. ما أتوقع إنه في بروجرام محترم ممكن يسأل هيك سؤال. ما بعرف شو رأيك خالد.
للامانه صعب هذا السؤال why you didn't signal us. It's a question you need to prepare an answer for it. يعني بس
Yeah.
انه you're limited by the number of signals, but show a genuine interest. بدكم تحكوا لهم انتوا why you just need to show why you're genuinely interested in their program. You need to give them a valid answer. مش انه والله it's a program وهيك. لا. If you do your research well before the interview you should be able to answer it.
So
هو
أنا
بتخيل السؤال معلش سوري عمر.
نعم.
السؤال هو هذا why did you not signal us مش معناته انه why did you not signal us. ما هو يعني بكون في سؤال وفي مغزى من السؤال، فانت بدك تحاول تعرف شو المغزى من السؤال. المغزى من السؤال are you really interested in our program or are you not really interested in our program. تحكي لهم no I'm very interested in your program. I've researched the programs very well, but I had a limited number of signals to submit. And your program was on the top of the whatever. ما بعرف كم السيجنال، احنا ما كان عندنا signals. The top 20 programs that I وخلص بتحكي هالكلمتين وانتهى الموضوع. يعني بس ورجيهم انه انت عن جد you're interested، ورجيهم انه انت you know the program in detail and you want to be part of the program اذا عن جد عجبكم البروجرام.
فهي زي ما دكتور محمد حكى، هو المغزى هو يعرف هو انت you didn't secure them. So الآن انت بتعمل you are interviewing. Are you really interested? So I would say just mention ال benefits اللي انت you look. مثلا احكي لهم اصلا هاي الولاية فيها كثير programs انا قدمت لها، يعني انا بدي اكون في هاي الولاية. Unfortunately I am limited with like 10 signals, but I would love to be in any program or Euro program as is in this state, and I want to be there because my family is there, for example. Right. So this is like a very valid, like I am limited but I want to be there. Mention the good things about the program, meaning that you read about the program. تسنيم تسأل changing fit tone, be natural. Like if you usually change your tone while speaking, do it. لأنه هاي الشغلة راح تأثر عليك لو أنت تصطنعها. فأنا ما بدي حد يصطنع التون. Just be natural whatever the way that you speak usually do it. أهم شيء يكون صوتك واضح، المايك واضح. ولو ما فهمت السؤال ما تجاوب عادي، اسألهم إنه أنا ما فهمت السؤال، بس إنه التون is something really hard to control. If you reschedule an interview and then they ask you, no one gonna ask you why you did reschedule. ممكن they wanna check on you. It's like did anything happen? Are you sick? Or في شيء صار معك مشكلة أو كذا. بس ما عمره بكون في الهدف من السؤال إني أنا بدي أعرف شو اللي صار. وبرضه لو إجاك انترفيو في مكان تاني هم عارفين إنه كلكم عندكم انترفيوز تانيين، فلو أنت جاتك انترفيو بمكان تاني و that's why you reschedule لأنه المكان التاني ما فيش مكان، احكي له انه مثلا لو انت بدك تكون genuine I don't like sharing this. بس اذا بدك تحكي لهم اجتني انترفيو بمكان ثاني وما كان في اي مكان فاضطريت اني اغير هاي. I don't recommend that. I recommend انه انت just لفها خلاص. احكي لهم انه I got something personal with my family, that's why I couldn't do it in that day, but I made sure that I have to reschedule it because I really want to be in Euro program, for example, or when I interview in Euro program. My question is the lack
حدا
of research.
رافع ايده، نشوف اذا نسمع من شريف.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
شكرا جزيلا على السيشن أكثر من رائعة both for the interviewers and the interviewees. I just have a question. When it comes to asking questions to the residents versus APD or faculty versus PD, بحس إنه في أسئلة يمكن الواحد لو سألها للبي دي يحكي لك إنه يا عمي هذا سؤال المفروض تسأله للريزيدنت، والعكس صحيح إنه يمكن أروح أسأل ريزيدنت ويحكي لي إنه هذا السؤال للبي دي عن الليدرشيب. What do you think is the strategy that should be used to determine what question should be asked to whom? And thank you.
هلا بشكل عام الاسئله اللي بتكون موجهه للريزدنس بدك يعني توجه لهم عن اللايف، يعني during residency يعني بتاعت الريزدنس، مثلا الكول سكادجول، الكلينيك سكادجول، الروتيشنز، الاشياء هاي التقنيه، انه الدوام بشكل عام، اسئله الدوام بدك تسالها الريزدنس. ممكن تسالها برضه تسال الريزدنس عن السبورت تاع الليدرشيب اوف ذا بروجرام to get their input and the feedback، الديوتي اورز، الاشياء اللي زي هاي الاسئله اللي you didn't feel comfortable asking to the program director. residents بالعاده يعني kind of more honest when it comes to that، يعني اذا انه مش مبسوطين ممكن يورجوا لك او يحكوا لك. بس هاي الاسئله. اما الاسئله البروجرام دايركتور بالعاده it's gonna be more focused مثلا على الجروث اوف ذا بروجرام، عن يعني future growth of the program، اشياء اسئله يعني مختلفه عن اسئله الدوام والاشياء اللي زي هيك.
Yeah, exactly. ما حد بيقدر يمشي على كل الأسئلة to describe, but definitely الأسئلة متعلقة في المكان، في السيفتي، قديش بيصرف الريزدنت، قديش بيحوش معاه، قديش بيخلي معهم سيارات، ما معهم سيارات، كيف اللايف ستايل، كيف البروجرام بيعاملهم، كيف كذا. It's better to خليها للريزدنت. الأسئلة المتعلقة في صلب الموضوع، إنه مثلا الكريكولم، الأشياء كذا، ممكن تسألها للبروجرام دايركتور. At the end of the day, I don't like asking too many questions, just like 1-2 questions maximum to the program director or to the interviewer, just to show that you are interested and you want to really know. بس دائما انا بحكي خلي سؤالك شيء مفرح، يعني ما تسألهم عن أسوأ شيء في البروجرام، عشان هم هنا راح يحسوا حالهم under pressure to make it look good, and then they will say this person is maybe picky. ويعني at the end of the day you make your decision على الرانك list. خلي الموضوع انت قدامهم انك اوكي، وبعدين انت بدامك انت عرفت المعلومه you can judge it yourself. Do you like it? rank them high. You don't like it, rank them low. So راح ناخذ اخر الاسئله الموجوده على بس شكرا لشريف، يعني سؤال منيح. راح ناخذ اخر الاسئله الموجوده في الشات وننهي عشان احنا بدنا نطول اكثر من هيك. Lack of research experience. I would be genuine about it. Just like إذا أنت في مكان ما فيه كثير research, just tell them you don't have, like the way or the place that you were did your medical school didn't have like much research or much fund, but show that you have been trying. Like I tried to talk to this. I have did like 2 abstracts. I have 1 publication and this kind of stuff. If you have like zero interest, I don't know, دكتور خالد شو رأيك إذا أنت عن جد you are not
بالضبط. هو انا الصراحه شغله الريسيرش، اغلب البروجرامات يا جماعه انتم جايين تشتغلوا از ريزيدنتس، ما في وقت كثير للريسيرش. الاغلب does not get involved in research. يعني the time where you want to be involved in research، اذا بدك مثلا competitive fellowship اكيد مثلا ممكن تهمك الريسيرش resources، بس اغلب البروجرامات هم جايبينك طالبينك عشان تشتغل يعني to be an excellent clinician. فيعني تكون كل اسئلتك موجهه عن الريسيرش ممكن it's gonna be a turn off for them، خاصه انه اغلب البروجرامات اللي بتقابل الانترناشونال اي ام جيز يعني ما بيكون عندها يعني الريسيرش يعني opportunities الخرافيه. نحن بنحكي يمكن توب 10 توب 20 بروجرامز بس اللي فعليا they're looking for researcher clinicians او يعني physician scientists. بس تركيزك على الريسيرش بس انه اذا انت بدك فيلوشيب، وحتى يعني اذا بدك فيلوشيب ركز على الكلينيكال اسبكت، انه how is this program going to be preparing you to be an excellent clinician, well-rounded physician، الكالتشر اوف ذا بروجرام. مش كثير دققوا بالريسيرش عشان انه اغلب البروجرامات اصلا مش كثير اهتمامها بالريسيرش.
100% I agree with you خالد. أنا يعني هذا السؤال كثير سألته بس عشان نوضح الموضوع. الريسيرش على السي في تبعتكم كمقدمين لريزدنسي it adds very little صراحة. بس بتورجي المقابل أو البروجرام إنه أنت يعني you're hard working وهالقصص interested بالأكاديميكس وهالقصص هاي. بس يعني اللي وصلته انترفيو وما عنده ريسيرش كلينيكال، يعني كلينيكال ريسيرش او بيسك ريسيرش على السي في تبعته، ما راح ينسال عنها. اذا عندك ريسيرش بيحكوا لك احكي لنا شوي عن الريسيرش تبعنا. يعني هم مش متوقعين من طالب طب يكون يعني انترنشت بالريسيرش. انا الي 12 سنه ولا 14 سنه بامريكا لحديت هلا، يعني لا يا دوب صرت افهم بالستاتستكس والمواضيع هاي. فما تشدوش على حالكم من هذا الموضوع. ما تقلقوا انه مثلا والله ما عندكم إشي موجود عند حدا غيركم. السي في تبعتك ممتازه، اخذوك فور ان انترفيو، they like your CV, they want to see how your personality is. That's it. عشان to see if you fit in the program ولا لا، عشان يعرفوا اذا انت بتقدر تشتغل معهم وهم بيعرفوا يشتغلوا معك ولا لا.
يعني كفيت ووفيت محمد وخالد. To move on to سؤال جود. بصراحة don't ask about it. I'll go over it, but just take it as it is. إذا حكوا لكم في انترفيو ما في سلايدات أو ما في إشي recorded, don't ask for it. I think they know what they are doing. They have been doing this for a long time. So yeah. I have okay. So Dr. Muhammad حكى نقطة منيحة. You have to show confidence, but you don't want to overdo it. So if you want to express yourself in like 5 good things about you, like you are funny, you are humble, you are extrovert, you مثلا you are easygoing and whatever, right? ما تحكي I am easygoing, I am humble, I am كذا. ممكن تحكي تنتين I am زي ما حكى دكتور محمد انه I am مثلا كذا and I am كذا. And my friends always describe me as a funny person and it's good to be around me. I don't know. This is how they describe me. Yeah, so ممكن أنا أحكيهم بطريقة إن أنا كيف أعرف نفسي وكيف اللي حوالي بيعرفوني. فممكن نستخدمها، ما في أي مشكلة صراحة أنا باستخدامها. ما بعرف، مش شايف فيها أي مشكلة باستخدامها، ولكن ما في إشي يزيد أو ينقص. احنا يعني بدنا نختم، بس عندنا حدا رافع ايده فراح ناخده اضافه ان شاء الله يكون سؤال
بس
سريع.
بدي اضيف شغله على نفس الموضوع هذا عشان نختم هلا.
يلا.
لانه لا يعني ما شفت ولا حدا من الثلاثه عملوا هاي الغلطه. بس وانا بسوي موك انترفيوز مع المنتيز تبعوني صارت هاي الشغله. المشكله ما في هيومن انتراكشن لما تكون انت فيرتشوال. يعني انت لما تكون ما فيش عن جد هيومن انتراكشن، فهم بيصيروا يلقطوا على كيوز صغيره. يعني مثلا واحد من المنتيز اللي كنت بشتغل معه حط ايديه على الطاوله وقرب كثير على الكاميرا، فبين زي كانه مشان الله خذوني. يعني حاولوا تكونوا confident في البوستشر تبعكم. يعني اقعد لفوق، اقعد على الكرسي او اقعدي على الكرسي بهيك بنفس الشولدرز تبعونكم مبينين. زي ما الدكتور عامر هلا قاعد بالضبط. الشولدرز مبينين، الراس مرفوع. احكوا بثقة، معلش تستخدموا ايديكم بالهذا بس ما تتكتفوا مثلا. ما ترجعوا كثير لورا وتضلكم تهزوا بالكرسي. هاي شغلات كثير مهمة وخطيرة ممكن تأثر. يعني بيجي بحكي لك هذا متوتر كثير أو مش مصدق على الله إنه يعني مقابل معانا بدي البوزيشن. مش يعني، فانتبهوا لهاي الشغلات وحاولوا تتدربوا قدام المراية عادي. سكروا على حالكم الباب قدام المراية، حاولوا تتدربوا على هاي الموضوع. 10 دقائق باليوم ما بتأثر.
That's a very good tip دكتور محمد. يسلموا. شذا سؤال سريع وخلينا نختم.
أول شيء يعطيكم العافية جميعا thanks for this initiative. I have a question. The last year I was applying outside of the match and I was having some interviews with the programs. The thing that in one of the interviews I got a weird question, and my question how to answer weird question, like the program director asked me if you think about, imagine that you are an animal, what type of animal you would be and why. So I really get like stressed with the question and I was feeling, oh, what's this? Why she's asking like this? So what is your best advices regarding that? And I tried at that to ask her again, can you clarify more? What do you want? So she said, tell me, like, if you want to be an animal, what animal you want to be? So then I answered her the thing that I felt appropriate for that. So what is the best advice for that? Like, if we got weird question like this?
هذا الموضوع صراحة عقبنا عليه سريعا بالويبينار الماضي، عشانه بالضبط هو بشكل عام البروجرامات عم تبتعد عن مواضيع الويرد كويشنز، بس لسه موجودة في بروجرامات صغيرة أو مثلا ويرد بروجرام دايركتورز بيحبوا يسألوا ويرد كويشنز تو ستريس يو. وجوابنا يعني مثلا what kind of animal would you be أو what kind of superhero أو kitchen utensil، يعني occasionally أو rarely ممكن تسمعوا أشياء زي هيك. بشكل عام صراحة you need to have a safe answer. أول إشي يمكن ابتسامة صغيرة أو اضحكوا واحكوا oh I've never thought about this before. وبعدين خلي جوابكم humble، مثلا I would like to be a lion, I would like to be a cat, والله I get along with cats, you know cats are emotional creatures, things like that. يعني خلي جوابكم يضحك، خلي جوابكم مضحك شوي وخلوه safe وبي humble. I think that's going to be the safest approach when it comes to those kinds of questions.
الأسئلة سقعة شوي صراحة، وأنا ما بتذكر إنه سألتها حد يعني بكل بالانترفيوز كلهم. ريزدنسي مرتين قدمت على ريزدنسي، أنا ريزدنسي فيلوشيب أند جوبز ما عمري سألت هيك سؤال. بس السؤال أجين ارجعوا للمغزى تبع السؤال. إيش بده يسأل؟ بده يسألك عن السؤال أنت شو شخصيتك؟ أنت شو شخصيتك؟ شخصيتك أنت راح تكوني معصبة طول الوقت ومستفزه وبدك تطاوشي الكل، او انتوا مثلا او انت مثلا بتمتصي غضب اللي قبالك وبتقدري يعني مثلا ما تحكي لهم ايش بدي اكون بومه مثلا يعني واحده من الشغلات. او بيجوز اللي سال السؤال بيكون بحب البسس مثلا، أو مثلا بتحكي له مثلا والله بدي اكون حوت ديب اند وايز اي شيء يعني. بس لا قلتم جواب على هيك اسئله اللي يكون يعكس انتم شو شخصيتكم، عشان تعرفوا تجاوبوا السؤال اللي هو بده يسأله. مش هو سأل السؤال بطريقة مختلفة، يعني مش راح يحكي لك والله اوصفي لي شو شخصيتك. ما راح يسأل هذا السؤال ابدا، عمرهم في حياتهم ما راح يسأل هذا السؤال. فبيحاولوا يحولوا السؤال بطريقة مختلفة عشان يعرفوا شو الشخصية وكيف انت بتردي على الجواب.
أوكي، شكرا على الأجوبة. بس عندي سؤال تاني بسيط. هلا برضو إذا بالانترفيو مثلا سمعوا إنه إحنا we are from Jordan and then they bring up how is your condition over there, especially with the current situation in Gaza. Some of them they don't know like that Gaza is like far from Jordan, so they think that everything is happening everywhere. So what is the best advice regarding that? How to answer that in a way that's not affecting us uh, as applicants? Thank you.
Yeah, so أنا عندي قاعدتين في هذا الإشي. أول شيء you don't know like أول شيء ما بتعرف شو وجهة نظر الشخص المقابل، أو إذا شخص قال ما بتعرفه. والشغلة الثانية إحنا المصطلحات البوليتكس يعني قويين في المصطلحات الطبية، لكن مصطلحات البوليتكس مش قويين فيها. ممكن نحكي كلمة قريبة على المعنى ولكن هم يفهموها غلط. ف communication barrier, we don't know the political view of the person in front of you. So the advice لأي موضوع سياسي سواء هذا الموضوع أو موضوع آخر, don't express yourself. No, I stand with this. I'm not saying you should stand with wherever you are. Don't change your mind. Don't say anything that you don't agree with. تمام؟ يعني مثلا ما تحكي لهم لا أنا صراحة شايف إنه كذا. مش هفوت بتفاصيل هسه، ولكن بشكل عام أنتوا وصلتكم الفكرة. ما تحكي شيء أنت مش مقتنع فيه. ما تحكي شيء، ولكن كمان ما تفوت في نقاش سياسي، لأنه عندك بارير لانجوج وعندك وجهة نظر قدامك وجهة نظره هو ضدهم، فأنت تحكي له أنا معهم وانت عادي صادق. فانا ما بحكي لك انه احكي لهم انك انت معهم عشان ترضيه، ما ترضيه في شيء زي هيك، ولكن بنفس الوقت you don't have to do this at all. So باختصار ممكن تحكي له مثلا عادي لو انت مش حابب تحكي الموضوع او تحكي له I would prefer not to talk about this. بس انا ما بدي تبين بالانترفيو انك انت مثلا انه انت حدا عندك باريرز في الكوميونيكيشن او انت زلمه حاد. فباختصار لو انا سالت هيك السؤال بحكي يعني we all look for peace in this world. يعني بحول السؤال لإشي عام ما بخصصه. we all look for peace in this world and I hope like peace comes around everywhere. And but I can speak about my country here in Jordan. It's very stable and very safe, and we don't have much of a conflict here, which is something I do appreciate a lot. But at the end of the day, we all have the same goal. We are all human, and we wish peace comes in place everywhere. جعبة عامة ما بدخل تفاصيل، ما بينت له انا مع مين واقف مع مين واقف، وحكيت شيء عام لكن هو شيء صحيح انه كلنا بدنا بيس، وبينت انا انسان بيسفول وانا مش جاي ورا مشاكل. ما بعرف رايك نظر دكتور خالد، دكتور محمد.
بالضبط، يعني أجوبة جواب نيوترال زي ما حكى الدكتور عامر. أجوبة نيوترال. don't side with any with any party. It's not your time to show your political views. This can affect you negatively. Make your focus on Jordan. ركزوا على الأردن. Jordan has been stable for a very long time. It's a small country and there's different conflicts in the region, but interestingly it has not really affected us except for economical reasons. يعني بس خلي تركيزكم على الأردن وما تنخرطوا بالconflicts بالريجن. أتوقع هذا أفضل شيء.
دكتور محمد اي اضافه؟
لا بس زي ما حكى، زي ما تفضلتوا، ما في عندي اي اضافات. بس حاولوا ابدا 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 ما تجيبوا السيره. يعني اذا انحشرتوا بزاويه احكوا لهم انه I don't want to talk about politics. Be very straightforward. I prefer not to speak about politics اذا انسالتوا. واذا انسالتوا specifically عن الاردن كيف الوضع وهذا، احكوا لهم Jordan has always been safe. We have a safe country وانتهى الموضوع. ما don't try to elaborate ولا تحكوا، وقفوا وبينوا انكم انتم ما بدكم تحكوا عن الموضوع. هذا احسن شيء يعني.
alright.
خلينا نخلص لانه
يس شكرا
يا
دكتور محمد ودكتور خالد ودكتورة أمل، شكرا جدا لحضوركم، وشكرا لكل حدا حضر، وللشباب اللي تطوعوا. وإن شاء الله يا رب مع نهاية الموسم الكل جميعا، يعني الكل تعب، الكل قدم امتحانات وستبات وهيك، فإن شاء الله كلنا نفرح بكم، ويعني تكون بداية خير على الجميع إن شاء الله. وأكيد إحنا أكسسبل على الجروب، فأي حدا عنده سؤال أو شيء ممكن يبعته على الجروب، وعلى حسب الوقت إن شاء الله نقدر نجاوب. فالله يعطيكم العافية جميعا، وشكرا لكم لوجودكم، وإن شاء الله راح يكون السيشن مسجل وراح يرتفع على اليوتيوب إن شاء الله. فشكرا.
يعطيكم العافيه جميعا.
الله يعطيكم العافية جميعا. best of luck إن شاء الله بالماتش we'll stay in touch إن شاء الله.